Bad news just hit Mercedes hard. McLaren's huge upgrade for the Miami Grand Prix just got leaked, and Sky F1 commentator David Croft is already sounding the alarm. This isn't some small tweak either. It's being called a massive step forward, the kind that could shut down Mercedes' momentum before it even fully kicks off. The April break came in clutch for McLaren, giving them exactly what they needed: time, resources, and a real shot to keep shrinking that gap race by race. Now here's where it gets spicy. Let's break down what actually leaked, why Mercedes should be on edge, and why Miami might flip the whole script compared to the opening races. Croft doesn't just toss around hype for no reason, and when he says something's big, people in the paddock listen closely. On the Sky F1 podcast, Croft pulled back the curtain and said, "I think McLaren have a big upgrade coming in Miami that they're already very pleased with in terms of the numbers it's given them from the simulator. That's not rumor talk, that's straight up insider info. McLaren has been grinding behind closed doors, building a serious upgrade package and pushing it hard through simulator testing. And the numbers, looking real strong. This isn't guesswork or paddock gossip. It's coming from someone plugged into the scene. And honestly, Mercedes should be feeling the pressure right now. The Japanese Grand Prix already showed McLaren creeping closer, and if this upgrade hits like expected, things could get real messy for the competition real fast." Oscar Piastri grabbed P2 at Suzuka, but that result doesn't even come close to showing how tight things really got out there. McLaren was right on the edge of breaking Mercedes' perfect run. And it wasn't luck or strategy tricks carrying them, it was straight-up pace. Piastri was leading George Russell fair and square in that opening stint, just raw speed, no gimmicks, no excuses. The McLaren was simply quicker in race conditions. Now here's where things get wild. Kimi Antonelli didn't just cruise to that win, it took a perfectly timed safety car after Ollie Behrman's crash to flip the race upside down. That moment handed Mercedes a cheap pit stop and gifted them track position they hadn't actually earned on pace. Croft even made it clear how this could have played out differently, saying, "I think Oscar Piastri might have won without the safety car. That's a huge statement. He didn't stop there either." Croft pointed out, and I know Kimi's pace before the safety car was pretty lightning, but he still had to fight his way through the field a little bit and make some overtakes. Oscar had track position, and I think had he kept that track position, he would have gone on to win it. That says everything. Piastri wasn't just hanging around, he had control of the race and looked fully locked in. That's the part people can't ignore. Piastri didn't just challenge Mercedes, he was running the show for large parts of that race, looking calm, sharp, and totally in command. And here's the scary part for everyone else. This was before McLaren even rolls out that major Miami upgrade. Croft even highlighted how strong Piastri looked, saying he seemed super comfortable, and that confidence on track is a serious warning sign for what's coming next. Croft didn't hold back when talking about Piastri's performance, saying, "From a pleasing perspective for me, Oscar Piastri got to race and looked pretty good when he was racing." That says a lot. When a driver looks that comfortable fighting at the front, you know something serious is building. And here's the real question. If McLaren was already fast enough to lead a Grand Prix on pure merit, before any upgrades, what happens when they show up in Miami with a package they're already very pleased with from simulator testing? That's where things start to look dangerous for the rest of the grid. And here's the part nobody's talking about yet. The timing couldn't be worse for Mercedes, and it's almost brutal when you think about it. With Bahrain and Saudi Arabia off the calendar, the sport hit a full month break. No racing, just pure development mode until Miami on May 3rd. For a team like Mercedes, that's a nightmare scenario. They had momentum, 3 strong weekends, and looked almost untouchable. But now, everything pauses, and their rivals get a wide-open window to catch up. For McLaren, though, this break is like hitting the jackpot. More time to fine-tune that upgrade, more time to double-check the simulator data, and more time to make sure everything works perfectly when those new parts hit the car in Miami. This isn't rushed work, this is calculated, detailed, and locked in. Crofty even pointed out that Mercedes will be frustrated by this timing, and it's easy to see why. When you're ahead, the last thing you want is a long gap that lets everyone else close in, especially when one of your main rivals is cooking up a major upgrade that could erase your edge completely. And it's not just McLaren making moves either. Ferrari is also using this April break to line up big changes for Miami, which means Mercedes could be walking into a serious fight the moment racing kicks back off. Ferrari team boss Fred Vasseur just dropped a bold statement, and it's turning heads. He made it clear that Miami won't look anything like the opening round, saying it will be a different championship for sure. That's not a small claim. That's confidence that Ferrari is about to flip the script completely. If their upgrades hit the way they expect, this fight at the front could explode wide open. So far, Ferrari has been the closest team pushing Mercedes, but they haven't quite broken through yet. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton have both landed on the podium multiple times, showing strong pace, but when it comes to actually fighting for wins, they've been just out of reach. Vasseur clearly believes that's about to change in a big way. And here's the real twist. If both McLaren and Ferrari roll into Miami with serious upgrades, Mercedes could see their dominance disappear in a single weekend. The numbers already show how fast things are shifting. In Australia, Mercedes looked untouchable. Russell and Antonelli locked in a clean 1-2 with zero pressure. McLaren had speed, but they were still a clear step behind at that point. Then China hit, and suddenly the gap started shrinking. McLaren looked sharper, especially in race pace during the sprint, but still couldn't fully challenge for the win just yet. Then came Japan, and that's where things got real. Oscar Piastri was leading on pure pace, no tricks, no luck, just straight performance, until the safety car changed everything and handed Mercedes a win they didn't secure on raw speed. That kind of progress is no joke. It shows McLaren is adapting to the 2026 regulations faster than expected, and now, with a new upgrade coming in hot and simulator data already looking strong, they might be about to take things to a whole new level. Mercedes' advantage was never as untouchable as those 3 straight wins made it seem. Japan exposed that clearly, and Oscar Piastri was right at the center of it. He didn't just keep up, he revealed the cracks. Now McLaren has a full month to dig into that weakness and push even harder, and that should have Mercedes seriously on edge. The leaked details about McLaren's upgrade only make things more intense. If they're already happy with the simulator numbers, that tells you everything. You don't celebrate early unless you know something is working. This isn't a gamble, and it's not blind hope either. McLaren believes they've built something that will make them faster. And in Formula One, teams usually don't bring upgrades unless they expect real results. That confidence alone is a warning sign. Even experienced voices are sounding the alarm. After Japan, the 1997 world champion Jacques Villeneuve made it clear Mercedes shouldn't feel comfortable anymore. He pointed out that the first 2 races gave them a sense of safety, but Suzuka completely shook that. As he said, they don't feel safe after this race. The gap is not as big as they expected. That shift in mindset is huge, and since then things have only gotten more complicated for Mercedes. Now they're heading into a full month without racing, and that's the last thing they need. No chance to build their lead, no way to control the narrative on track. Meanwhile, McLaren and Ferrari are locked in, developing upgrades specifically aimed at closing that gap. And while Mercedes sits on early success, that momentum starts fading little by little. Miami on May 3rd is shaping up to be a complete reset. The pecking order could flip fast, and the teams that used this April break wisely will come out swinging. McLaren especially looks like they've nailed it. The leaked info, the simulator data, the confidence, it's all pointing in one direction, and it's coming in loud. The confidence inside McLaren right now is real, and it's building fast. They've got a car they believe in, upgrades they trust, and a driver like Oscar Piastri who already showed he can take the fight straight to Mercedes on pure pace. That mix right there is dangerous, and Mercedes can see it coming. The mental edge Mercedes had after those 3 straight wins, It's fading quickly. That early season aura of being unbeatable is slipping away, replaced by real questions about whether they were truly the fastest or just in the right place at the right time. Let's not ignore what happened in Japan. Antonelli's win came down to safety car timing, and that's just the reality. Mercedes can't spin that into pure dominance because it wasn't. The race flipped after Ollie Behrman's crash, handing them a perfectly timed advantage they didn't earn through outright speed. Wins like that don't build long-term confidence, they expose weak spots. And once those cracks show, other teams start pushing even harder. McLaren definitely noticed. That's exactly why they're going all in with this upgrade. They've already proven they can match Mercedes in race pace, and now they're targeting something bigger. The simulator feedback, being very pleasing, says this isn't about small gains. They're not trying to just close the gap, they're aiming to jump ahead completely. In this sport, you don't bring a major upgrade just to stay second, you bring it to win, no question. And if this upgrade delivers even close to what those simulations are showing, Mercedes is in real trouble. Because now it's not just McLaren applying pressure, Ferrari is stepping in with upgrades too, and that adds another layer of chaos. On top of that, Red Bull hasn't even fully shown what they can do yet, which means this fight could get even tighter real fast. This April break has flipped the situation completely. What looked like a strong advantage for Mercedes is now turning into a ticking clock they can't stop. They're stuck waiting for Miami, waiting to see how much McLaren has improved, waiting to find out if their early wins actually meant anything long-term. That kind of uncertainty hits hard in a championship fight. David Croft's leak just confirms what Japan already hinted at. McLaren is coming, the upgrade is serious, and the numbers back it up. Mercedes is no longer cruising, they're under pressure. May 3rd is shaping up to be a turning point, the moment where everything either holds together for Mercedes or completely shifts against them. And the worst part for Mercedes? They don't get answers right away. They have to sit through this entire month knowing McLaren is working, improving, and getting faster with every passing day. If you want to follow how this plays out, hit like and subscribe to not miss another breakdown.